Hello and welcome to So Sandler's Pod, the Adam Sandler podcast. Yeah?
Sandman movie podcast.
No, I think we changed it.
What? We've changed everything.
We changed everything because it's easier for people to search. Let me get this up on Spotify.
All right, so we've got the So Sandler's Pod, the Adam Sandler movie podcast. Is that what the tagline is?
Or the Adam Sandler podcast.
Oh, we had to change it from the Sandman. Oh yeah, because fuck, that actually became a thing.
It did actually become a thing.
Sorry, not actually became a thing, but it became like a movie version or a TV, whatever the fuck they made it.
Hello and welcome to So Sandler's Pod, the Adam Sandler podcast, the podcast where we discuss the movies of professional gamer Adam Sandler. My name is Kerry Jones, and as always, I am joined by my dearest friend and co-host, Matt Wolstenholme.
How we going? Great to be here. This upbeat pod. Gonna be.
It's good to be back.
We're bringing the energy this week because we need some.
Yeah, this week we need the energy because this movie it touches on some dark and depressing topics.
Look, I'm not gonna shit on this movie. It's not.
It's not that
you just
bad.
have to I mean, you're obviously just in a very certain mood after you've watched it. And you're like, oh fuck, that was heavy.
See, I don't think I was.
But I was just like, fuck. I kind of felt for all these people. I was just like, fuck me, Jesus Christ.
I think I finished it and I was like, oh, that's a thing. Especially the way that it ended. It just ended.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some probably weird things that happen in this film. Like, why is this lady just trying to suck this guy off? And then she fancies Adam Sandler. Like, what?
We'll touch upon that when we start talking about the movie. But before we get into that, though, there's actually been quite a lot of Sandler news this week. I just want to mention this because you know how much I love animated Adam Sandler musical comedies.
You do.
There's a new movie coming out, and he plays a newt, maybe? I don't know.
Some sort of lizard.
Some sort of
little like gecko skin.
And I think his name is Leo, maybe? Leo the lizard. But anyway, Adam Sandler's back in the recording booth doing an animated movie where he sings again, which I cannot wait for the soundtrack. Because it also stars Rob Schneider as well. Yes, Leo.
What movie? Is it like Sing 3 or something?
No, it's a completely original concept for Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not
Netflix one.
Yeah. Where Adam Sandler stars. And also
no, you sent me that like photo of it and I was like, oh, that's a very Sing looking animated animal. That also looks like John Lovitz.
It does look like John Lovitz. But yeah, very much looking forward to that. And Murder Mystery 2 is getting released in March.
That'll be you know what? Looking forward to that.
And now that Netflix own Murder Mystery and Knives Out, I guarantee down the line there's going to be a crossover.
Well, I'm still waiting for a sequel to the movie Clue.
From 19... Doesn't Clue have like 12 different endings depending on where you went to watch it? Or did they try to do that or something?
So I'm pretty sure there's something like that, yeah. Depending on where you watched it or who you... when you watched it, there's different endings and such shit. I don't know. It's a good movie, though. It's not that good, but it's worth a watch.
Enough about murder mysteries, because we know who caused all the murders in this movie. And this week's movie is Reign Over Me. Matt, what's your history with this movie?
You twat. So, like I said, I may not have said this last week. I definitely told you this several times. I watched this like when this came out. And I was like, oh Jesus, when did this come out? Like 2007. So I would have watched it on TV like year after. So I would have been like 13 watching this. Like, and I remember watching the first half of it. Like, this is shit. Like, I'm watching an Adam Sandler movie. Why is everyone depressed? And why am I depressed? Like, what is this? So I fucked it off after the first half. Did that again, I think, like a year later. The same thing happened. And that was my experience with it. So I just went into this with the impression that it was just going to be like really sad and shit. And it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. It was very like sad and depressing, like themed throughout the movie, but pretty good.
Fair enough.
Didn't mind it too much.
I had this movie when I was younger. I know the DVD cover, but it's something I never put on.
Yeah, that like him walking down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always knew that it was a bit of a darker movie, and I just never got around to watching it.
Yeah, it was.
Instead of putting this on, I'd put on bedtime stories or whatever else we've got.
Anything else? I do like the fact that he's got one of those motorized scooters though, and they're just fucking everywhere now. I don't know if they're like a big thing in the UK at the moment, but fuck me, they're everywhere in Australia. Like they were in New Zealand all over as well when I was there.
The Lime scooter, yeah. There's
not even like the ones you rent. People, you can just fucking buy them for like $600, and you just fucking honing down the road.
Yeah. When I was in New Zealand, I think I spent about $100 a month on.
Mate,
on scooters.
I used to literally like park it outside of my house, get on it, go to work, park it outside the bar where I worked, and then just fucking get on it and go home at the end of the shift. It was great. I had a little circuit, used to ride it up to fucking Countdown. Oh, what a dream.
The best time I've ever had on a Lime scooter, I must have been on it for about 4 hours. And it's when I first discovered Finding Drago. I was riding it back from work, and then I got...
You just rode that thing the whole time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Never would have got off.
I got to Mount Eden, and then I was like, oh, the episode's not finished. So I just drove around for a bit more, and then just kept on... I was on the thing for about 4 hours.
Just travelling around the whole of Auckland.
Honestly, it was the best experience of my life. But yeah... We're laughing way too much for
No, we need some fucking good energy for this podcast. I refuse to be saddened in the podcast by this movie. I was sad watching the movie because it's fucking a sad movie, but like, I'm not being sad now. Not having this.
Right, yeah. Like mentioned earlier, this week's movie is Reign Over Me.
Oh, hey, Charlie! Charlie!
I ran into Charlie Feynman today.
Really? How is he?
Hey, Charlie, it's Alan, man.
We know each other?
Are you kidding me?
Who's Charlie Feynman, Daddy?
He was my college roommate. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
We were college roommates?
Yeah, you slept naked most nights. And you were a sleepwalker. It was the worst 2 years of my life.
He lost his whole family in a plane crash. He's lost now.
Charlie Feynman for Dr. Johnson?
You don't have an appointment, sir?
Oh, we're friends. We were college roommates.
And?
I used to sleep in the nude.
I don't play guitar, Charlie.
Johnson, you're barely a dentist. You pull people's teeth all day. It don't matter.
You stay out all night? That's not okay.
I was stuck in Charlie world. I couldn't leave.
Come on now, stab his wing.
Guys have guy hobbies, right? They play poker, they golf.
What's going on, Charlie?
Let's hang out.
Right now?
Yeah, wake up. Come on. Can he go out? Is he allowed out?
Don't do that. Don't ask my wife permission for me to go out.
All right, you're right. Can you go out?
Charlie, fuck!
A lot of girls here, Charlie.
What?
You're single now after what happened with your family and everything.
Oh, whoa, hey, I don't have a family, Johnson.
No, I know you don't.
Who sent you here?
He likes you, Ellen. You know why? Because you know nothing about his family. So he figures you won't ask any questions.
I have these things that I don't like to think about. I can't do this. I gotta put these back on. Only love can make it rain.
I don't know how I got to the place where I'm not letting you in. I don't want to be that guy, baby.
Alan, just come home. I love you.
It's easy to see that this man is going through something very profound.
Are you gonna be all right, Charlie? And you're gonna make it, right?
remind me of me.
Only love can bring
Right Over Me is a 2007 American buddy drama film written and directed by Mike Binder and produced by his brother Jack Binder. The film stars Adam Sandler and Don Cheadle with Jada Pinkett Smith. Keep my wife's name out your damn mouth. Liv Tyler, Donald Sutherland, Saffron Burrows, and Mike Binder in supporting roles. So yeah, this movie is
Pretty good cast.
very good cast. You got obviously Adam Sandler. Don Cheadle's from that one TV show I forgot the name of, and he's War Machine, and he's done a bunch of other stuff.
Hang on a minute.
What's that movie?
I do like the
TV
fact
show.
that in this movie. Oh, actually, you know what? That's going to be my thing. I'll say it later. Don Cheadle's from Ocean's 11.
And he was in House of Lies. That's the TV show I was thinking about. Where he won 4 primetime Golden Globe and 4 primetime Emmy Award nominations.
Jesus.
Wow.
Never
And
even
then,
heard of this.
He also received a Tony Award for Best Musical and as a producer for the musical.
This guy going for a fucking EGOT. What's going on here?
Has he got a Grammy? Yes, he received his first Grammy Award winning Best Soundtrack for Visual Media. So he's got...
Shout out to Don Cheadle being a fucking G. What a fucking legend.
Yeah, so he's got the G and the O. No, the G and the T.
Mate,
and
all
the
right.
E. He needs an Oscar.
To get Don Cheadle his fucking EGOT. Get that man an Oscar.
He's got an Oscar.
So he's got an EGOT. He's got them all. Let's fucking go.
I think so. Oh, no. Okay, so Academy Awards, he's been nominated. Grammy, he's won. Emmy, he was nominated. And Tony, he's won. So right. He's got a... Yeah, he's got a
This
G
is
and a
our
T.
petition to get Don Cheadle an EGOT. He's 58. We can do this.
He can do that easily. Yeah. Then Jada Pinkett Smith from G.I. Jane 2. Liv Tyler.
I don't know what I know Jada Pinkett. I don't know what I would say I know her from.
She is Gloria in Madagascar.
What?
She's the hippo in Madagascar.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. That is brand new information for me.
I think. Oh, she's in Scream 2.
She isn't Scream 2. She's in The Nutty Professor.
Menace to Society.
Madagascar, but...
She's in the new Matrix movie.
She's
Gotham. She is.
As an uncredited party guest. What did you say? Sorry.
She's Fish Mooney in Gotham.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah, and then obviously Liv Tyler, Lord of the Rings.
Liv Tyler is a
Armageddon.
Fucking
daughter of Steve.
She's Arwen. Let's just put it that way.
Incredible Hulk. Yeah, she's Betty Ross in the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, and obviously Donald Sutherland's just Donald Sutherland. Everybody knows who Donald Sutherland is. And yeah,
he's only in this for like 5 minutes, but he is great.
He is.
His judge role.
They should have got what's his face? What's the name of the guy that I was wrong with all the time, and he hasn't popped up for a while? You know, Sandler's mate. He played a judge before.
Kevin Nealon.
They should have got Kevin Nealon to be the judge.
That would have been pretty good, actually. bit out there because it would have been a bit like because he's more comedic.
It's that guy. Yeah. But I think we like to do
go balls to the wall and just get John Lovitz to be the judge.
I think we like to do in this podcast is a little segment called Curb That Blurb, and by curb that blurb, I mean if I'm going to read out a fucking hell, what am I saying?
Mate,
right.
I don't know what's going on this week, but
on this podcast we like to do a little segment called Curb That Blurb. And by Curb That Blurb, I mean I have found a plot synopsis online. And if we hate it, we're going to take it outside, make it bite the pavement, kick it in the back of the head. Therefore, we curb that blurb. So I don't know where that came from. Don't know. Anyway, Charlie's world gets shattered after losing his wife and daughters in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. However, a reunion with his former college roommate could help him pass his grief.
No better than the ones I read, so fuck them. I mean, it is kind of
We're
what happens, but
We good with it? Or we
yeah,
like
we're okay
what?
with it. Fuck them.
Yeah, I completely agree with Curbing that blurb. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think 9/11 is mentioned once in this movie.
It's obviously like heavily referenced because that's like the whole point, but I don't think they ever specifically say like 9/11 terror attacks. It's just like plane crash, the thing that happened. Like it's just the kind of alluded more than it's actually ever said.
But Adam Sandler's wife and kids could have easily just died in a bus crash or a car crash or a double
No, like they
homicide.
definitely say plane crash.
Yeah, but I think 9/11 was just added for that shock factor.
Are you saying it's like the 2011 movie Remember Me starring Robert Pattinson, where it's just a movie and then at the end of the movie he is stood in the World Trade Center on the 11th of September 2001, just and then like the camera just cuts out of like him just stood at the window, and it's like it's I don't know what it is. Like, he goes to like see his dad in his office. It's like, oh, he's being friends with his family again, and then he's like in the window, and then he just zooms out, and he's just in the World Trade Center on the September 11th. That's the end of the movie.
Oh, yes.
It's like, so yeah, you're saying, are you going with like this is just for the shock factor? Because I feel like that was put in for shock factor, where like this is actually just like the movie.
It's like Final Destination 5, where you realize the people at the end of Final Destination 5 are jumping on the plane from Final Destination 1.
That's a good little twist. I won't lie. When they realize as well what's happening, they're like, "Oh shit, get me the fuck off this plane."
I love Final Destination. There's a new one
Hey,
coming out. Did
is
I
there
tell
actually?
you about that? Yeah.
No.
And
Oh, that's great. I love the Final
the-
Destination franchise. So it's like easy to watch shit movies, but like
yeah.
actually not as shit. Just great.
But I think the next one might be pretty good because the directors who got the job, they had the interview over Zoom like this, and then they
Hey,
edited
this is
it.
Discord.
Yeah, okay. they had the interview
Zoom
over
only
Zoom,
allows to do for 40 minutes and it's fucking bullshit.
but during that interview,
Sorry.
the directors died. So they had filmed like
their death in for their interview.
They faked their
good.
death and like spliced in the clips with the actual interview in areas that, and yeah, apparently it was an incredible interview. But
That's
they
a
died
good
in the
fucking interview. Yeah, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And like, yeah, the execs were so impressed with it. Like, yeah, you got the job. Yeah.
Like, if the movie isn't as good as this interview, this is a waste. But like, fuck it.
Before we get into things as well, I've also found a couple of reviews. This comes from Helen O'Hara from Empire Magazine, and she says, Cheadle's finest hour and proof that Sandler can act. Funny, sad, and flawed. Like its characters.
That's a pretty good review. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
but
at the end of the day, it's not a great movie, but there's some good performances.
I sent you a review yesterday, and it said, Adam Sandler portrays grief by doing his Waterboy voice.
Exactly
And-
true.
So can Sandler act? Is this...
No, I get it. Like, he does kind of portray this, like, he's fucking broken. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone with PTSD or have been around them, but like, I don't know. He seems like he's genuinely like a very lost. Like he like I don't know. He meets Don Cheadle at the start of this, and he doesn't even remember him. Like he's just completely like blanked out everything, and he's just fucking like a zombie basically.
He puts his headphones on, and then he's
Yeah, he's just
gone for the
gone.
world.
He's gone from the world. Yeah.
I have 1 star from Nathan as well, and they say this is the worst thing to happen as a result of 9/11.
Ballsy comment.
And then I've got 5 stars from Slow Torture, which is what Al Qaeda got after 9/11.
Some
And
of
they
them
say,
definitely did.
I think some of them are probably still in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, there's a lot. I don't know if any of those specific people are still there. I mean, I know the guy.
I mean, the
or-
guys on the plane
The what-
obviously died.
No, but they reckon all the people that organised it. There's people that they reckon organised it at least. One of them's in that like fucking supermax prison in like Arizona where there's like 20 people. There's like El Chapo, the fucking like the Unabomber, this guy that did like supposedly organised 9/11, and then like 3 other people. And they're just like in a cell within like a basement, like in the middle of a fucking desert somewhere.
Oh,
So it's like Arizona supermax or like New Mexico, somewhere like that. These guys are just like never seeing the light of day ever again.
yeah, they're in the basement of the basement, and just above them is Adam Sandler playing American football.
Still probably better than being in Guantanamo Bay though. Just like,
Would you rather be in that prison or in a prison with Big Stan?
probably a big stand because no one's getting raped. Which is like, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's pretty much the only joke anyone makes about going to prison, right? Is just like, don't drop the soap, eh? So if you go to a prison where that's not happening, you're already winning a little bit.
Rob Schneider made a whole movie surrounding that one joke, so
No, it's literally unfathomable.
And then this is 5 stars from Slow Torture, and they say, wept through my whole rewatch. Such an important story. Happy birthday, Adam. So I'm guessing they watched this on Sandler's birthday.
Well,
Did you weep?
I did not weep. I mean, there's some emotional scenes in this, don't get me wrong. Like, I was like, fuck, alright, this is fucking going. But, like, I wasn't sat there fucking crying my eyes out.
And no, I didn't weep once. I
don't know, maybe
I
if
don't
you're
even know how I
American,
felt.
you'd maybe
Yeah.
feel a bit sadder, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's just obviously, yeah.
And then taking these reviews on board, how do you feel this movie fared on Rotten Tomatoes? We'll start with critics' review. The critics' score.
This could have been the worst movie ever, and there's no way that it's getting panned by critics. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, there's no possible way. So, like, this has to be positive at least. Like, this, like, just purely based on subject matter. Like, there's no way this got panned. Like, there's no way. Like, if this is like 30%, I would be shocked. I don't know what to guess. I have no idea, honestly.
So from critics, this movie got a 64%.
All right, fair enough.
And then audiences give this movie an 81%.
I think the 10 people that have seen this movie really like this movie.
And I genuinely think about 10 people saw this movie because the budget was
no one saw this movie.
No. The budget was $20 million and it grossed $22 million. So yeah, nobody
No.
saw this movie.
No one watched this movie.
But yeah.
Which is fine, that's not a bad thing, but like, yeah. No one watched this.
So this week, we're going to try something a little bit different and not just go through plot by plot. We're just going to talk about the movie in a general...
Just a general sense.
Sort of chat.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can convey the movie in a certain type of way.
Get to the bottom of things in a roundabout kind of way.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with Don Cheadle's character in this movie?
Yeah, I guess he's the first person we get like an interaction with, so let's start there, I guess. He's just this...
Don Cheadle is a doctor of the teeth.
He is a bored as shit dentist who is sick and tired of basically everyone in his life just giving him shit. All of his partners, his wife, his fucking patients, getting abused.
He's bored as fuck with life, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, this movie's more about Don Cheadle needing something to fucking do.
Yeah. Because there's a whole thing in this about Don Cheadle wanted to have his own hobbies rather than the hobbies his wife signs him up for.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to go fucking photography lessons. What is this bullshit?
So, such as in real life, I think Jada Pinkett Smith in this movie is a bit of a controlling wife.
Oh, this
And,
I mean, look, there's probably an easy reason she can portray a bitch so well. Like, let's be honest, we've all watched the Oscars, or we've all seen at least that segment.
Yeah, she's signing up for Don Cheadle up for different shit. Don Cheadle has to ask her permission to go out, ask her permission to, and he just doesn't talk to her at all.
No,
Pretty
yeah,
much
there's no
this entire
communication
movie.
there.
No,
It's like
Yeah.
the only time they speak is like when he like calls her on the phone, I swear. And there's like
Yeah.
there's like a couple scenes in the apartment.
They have 2 kids, 1 kid. I think they have 2 kids,
think
but
they
we
have
only see
2.
1. But I
You
think
only
we
really
see
see one.
Yeah, but yeah, Don Cheadle's just bored of his family life, and then but he has the opportunity to spice things up a bit with this whole subplot of this woman wanting to give Don Cheadle a blowjob.
This was fucking hilarious.
I
Just
thought
like
it'd be
him
one
just
scene
walking
at
in
the start.
and this. Yeah, I didn't think this was going to be a full thing, but it's just this lady just like, let me suck your dick.
He walks in and she's like, "I need a crown." I'm like, "Oh, okay, and what tooth?" And like, "You tell me." And then
Pick one.
yeah, pick one. And then yeah, she's like, "Oh, lock the door. The nurse is gone. I can get on my knees and suck your dick if you want." And then for a moment, I thought Don Cheadle was going to say yes.
Same. I couldn't remember this properly, so I was like, Does this happen?
No, it doesn't. There's a moment he walks up to the door, back, and he's probably thinking it through his head, and then he kicks her out. But then, after he kicks out, what? She accuses him of sexual harassment. Then
Yes, he gets. She says like, "Oh, you sexually assaulted me."
yeah, and then his partners turn on him.
Yeah, his partners are like, "Oh, we already pay so much in fucking like liability insurance. We ain't dealing with this." Like, you guys. Also, shout out. It's fucking. I forget his name. Jonathan
Gus
Banks.
Russ?
I'm pretty sure his name. Jonathan Banks, I believe, is his name, and he plays Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad.
Isn't Jonathan the kid
Is it
from
not?
Mary Poppins?
Maybe it's just him growing up. Yeah, Jonathan Banks. Yeah. Fucking knows his name.
What's the name of the kid in Mary Poppins? Oh, the kid in Mary Poppins is John Banks.
I mean, fair enough. How old's that? When was that kid born?
I don't know, but I think that's the name of the character.
No. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in the movie, right? Okay, now, yeah, I get what you mean.
But yeah, that's basically Don Cheadle's side of the story, right there. He's a dentist. He's bored with life. He gets accused of sexual harassment, and his partners turn against him.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to the end of it when we talk about the end of the movie. Sandler's character, professional gamer. That's all he does is listen to music, play games.
Hey, he's like a professional fucking interior decorator at this point. He's just remodeling.
He remodels his kitchen every 6 weeks or whatever they said. Because we first see him coming out of a paint shop, don't we? And Don Cheadle stops New York traffic just to shout at this man.
Literally just 50 cars behind him. Gets out. Hey.
but he's clearly got earphones on.
Yeah, like very blatantly, like me and you have right now, like full over-ear headphones in like 2006, 7. You don't see that very often.
But yeah, Sanders, he's obviously super depressed with life, has PTSD. What did I say? I saw something yesterday watching this movie, and it basically just said Adam Sandler portrays an autistic character who just listens to music the whole time.
I mean, look. What's that movie? It's like fucking There's Something About Mary.
Yeah.
And then like he like touches his headphones and he fucking freaks out. I feel like similar sort of thing, like theme in this movie. Like he just like his headphones are his safe space, and he's just like, nah, fucking leave me alone. He does like I don't know what people like that have, but like fucking yeah. Seems a bit
Towards
odd,
the end, he does freak out majorly, doesn't he?
yes.
But
Well, I mean, in the court scene, yeah, but like, that's like kind of
yeah.
obviously purposely brought on, but like he's clearly not okay.
No, he's not. Basically, his character throughout this isolated himself. He plays games, he redecorates, he listens to music to take his mind. He probably does it to focus his mind on one thing.
Yeah, he just wants
And
to
there's
distract
nothing in
himself.
there's nothing in his professional vision to remind him about the rest of the world. So he just wants to kind of shut himself out to be on his own, but without his own thoughts.
Yeah, because what like he even says, like his what is it? It's like his accountant. And he's like, oh, I was his best friend for like his whole life. Like I was his fishing buddy. Like we're like family friends like forever. Like since we were kids. And he's like, won't hang out with me, won't speak to me because I knew his family. So like he knows that I knew his life beforehand. So he's like,
Yeah.
to Don Cheadle, oh, you didn't know his family or any of his kids, so he likes spending time with you because he doesn't have to think about anything.
But he doesn't want to hang out with new people either, because Don Cheadle tries to get him to hang out with that guy in the.
Yeah, but he knew that guy was a fucking therapist like immediately.
Was he a therapist?
The guy in the comic book store, in the
music shop.
vinyl store. Yeah, like that was set up. What do you mean?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was like Don Cheadle's friend, and he's like that was his way of like trying to get him to see a therapist.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Oh right, no, okay.
Completely missed that plot point.
Right, no, yeah, like he that was just because he was like, nah, you're a fucking shrink. Like I literally smelled it on you like as soon as I met you. He's like, fuck you.
But he does eventually go to see a shrink played by Liv Tyler.
Yes, she's great.
Yeah, she lives in the same building as Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle tries to get free therapy from her.
So I never understood this. Like I must have missed it when they first introduced her as a character. I had no idea what their relationship was.
Yeah, they meet outside, but I don't know if they live in different buildings, because Don Cheadle he waits for her to leave for work. Oh, maybe. But he waits for her to leave whatever building they're in, so he can have a chat with her, because they have a chat like, I have this friend, and his wife is forcing him to do stuff, and it's like, oh, a friend, is it? Like, yeah, and like,
Although it would be a bit weird if you went to therapy and the dentist in the same building for that lady.
Yeah, but buildings are big.
Buildings are,
you know?
Yeah, but like, think about like, no, yeah, you're not wrong.
I've been to.
Buildings are big. Knowledge from the pod.
I went to a big multi-story like that once, and it was a hotel. I also got a visa there, and I got a bus pass.
But what country was this in?
It was in Vietnam.
I was going to say, fucking hell, where were you getting a visa and a bus pass from at the same place?
That was Vietnam.
It's like, what do they do in Swansea?
I've got a question for you. What are you drinking right now? Are you drinking Heineken?
No, I'm drinking soju.
Oh, okay.
Right, so wait. I was drinking Carlton Dry.
Yeah.
That's a beer. No, I'm just drinking soju. It's like strawberry flavored.
Okay. But
it's Korean, like, I guess rice wine.
Oh, right, okay.
And it just tastes like fucking sweets, and it's amazing, and it's like 15%, and it's fucking great.
I was in London the other day, and I was having double vodka lime lemonade bitters.
Oh yeah, I've not had I've not had that since I fucking.
You can't taste the vodka at all.
No,
it was so good, so good. But yeah,
where were you when you sent me that video?
Oh, just in some.
You were definitely in some sort of Yatesies.
No, it was a place called Carnival, but it was so dead at the end of the night they just let us take.
Why were you in London?
Seeing. It was a small camp reunion. like a tiny
I was
one.
gonna say I saw 4 people. I was like, what? I didn't even realize it was them. I had to watch the video like 4 times. Like, is that who I think it is? Oh yeah, it's alright.
But yeah, they allowed us to, like, the place was so dead. At the end of the night, they allowed us to take the guy's Spotify and just play our own music. So that's what we did.
So that's where Wagon Wheel came from.
Yeah, to end the night. But yeah,
It's always a way.
Adam Sandler in this movie, he's also a musician. So when Don Cheadle goes to see Adam Sandler playing in his band, did you notice how stupid the Heineken bottles look?
The Heineken advert, yeah, I noticed that so much of like the Heineken product placement.
But the bottles, they were weird shape. Like they
it was like because it had a really small neck, and it was like a thick, like thick body, small. It's like a stubby, but like
it was.
Yeah, so weird.
Like that pulled me out of the scene.
That straight up, that's the only thing I could concentrate on was that bottle of like. Obviously, that's probably what it's there for, but like, fuck me, yeah. couldn't concentrate on anything else.
But yeah, so Adam Sandler, he loves music, he loves his games, he loves painting, but then he eventually agrees to go see a shrink. But the first couple of times he just goes and he's there for what, 4 minutes? Like, is this thing over? Like, do you want it to be? Like, yes, and then just walks out.
Yeah.
So she's getting paid for the full hour.
Oh yeah.
4 minutes.
She's not asked. Like, what? Oh yeah, 5 minutes for what? Fucking $500. Yep. See you later.
See you next week.
Job done.
But nothing much happens with Liv Tyler after this. No?
Oh, she's just in the movie.
She's in the movie.
She doesn't really do much until like the last 30 minutes, I'd say.
Last 30 minutes.
She's just kind of is someone he chats to occasionally.
Is there anything else you want to mention? Yeah, it's just Don Cheadle and Sandler's friendship. They go do different things. At one point, Sandler convinces Don Cheadle that it's okay to call each other slurs.
Yeah, well, I was gonna hit on that later. There was a bit in this that I want to touch on later, which was like, yeah.
Well, why don't we touch on it now? Because I don't know what else we're gonna say until we get to the ending.
Oh no, because it's one of like my bits for later.
All right, okay. And then they go see
not for that reason. But like, it just is included.
My cream de la scene is Adam decides to call Don Cheadle.
The what?
It's not actually. That's not my cream de la scene. I don't even know what mine is.
I know what mine is. And it's definitely in there. But like,
yeah. What else do they do as friends? Oh, ride around on a scooter everywhere.
Go get Chinese food.
Sandler knocks on the door like 9 p.m. to go out for a couple of drinks.
Yeah, and he's
Don
already
Cheadle's
asleep.
What
else does he do? Yeah, they go for Chinese food. They go and watch him like play the drums in his band, like at that bar. Adam Sandler doesn't really do anything though. Like he just like because like he doesn't really have any interest. He just kind of stays in his apartment.
Honestly, it feels like Don Cheadle is Adam Sandler's carer points.
Like a little bit, yeah. Like he's like, but he's just putting himself in that situation to force himself. He's like, no, I must do this. It's my, like, I don't know, my duty, I guess.
This is my new hobby.
Yeah, literally. Don Cheadle is bored with his life, so he just decides to fix this guy he knew for 2 years. Nah, I'm kidding. He was his college roommate.
But it is kind of like, I am trying to fix you.
It is literally just, I'm a rich, bored person, I have nothing to do, so let me help this person I knew once.
But there's a couple of people who try to help Sandler throughout this movie. You've got his elderly neighbor. She's caring for him basically the entire time.
Yeah. Well, she just like keeps people away from him, I guess.
Yeah. And then you've also got his parents, his in-laws.
His in-laws, yeah, who just want to
make contact and just
they want to
like his life.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adam Sandler's entire life, he's depressed. And he's being driven to insanity. and then this insanity eventually leads to him to basically suicide by cops.
That's sort of. I read this on Wikipedia. I was just like, I couldn't believe they actually just wrote "suicide by cop" on Wikipedia. It just made me laugh.
But yeah,
Because it just reminds me of Rick and Morty, where like Morty has that little fucking like he can save and recontinue. Like whenever he dies, he just like he can do something and like relive like the thing, and so he I can't remember what happens. Like he loses like a girlfriend or something after ages, and he just does suicide by cop like 10 times. And this guy's like, "Oh man, suicide by cop! I love this!" and just fucking plants like 8 bullets. So that phrase just makes me laugh because that always makes me think of that. But yeah, he fully just goes and pulls a gun that has no bullets. It's not loaded. He just pulls an empty gun on a taxi driver, and this police officer's like, "I'm gonna fucking shoot you," and then his mate tackles him. So we're all good.
Yeah,
That
so
would
he doesn't get shot. He gets tackled, gets taken to jail, and then basically next thing you know, we're in court, and you've got
no, because no. They're in because he's in the police station afterwards, and they're literally like, "Okay, so we don't want to make a big deal of this. 2 police officers beating the shit out of a 9/11 widow." I'm pretty sure that's the only time it's mentioned.
Oh, right, okay.
I think someone mentions it when they're there. I think that's when it gets said, but that might be the only time. But yeah, they're just like 2 cops beating the shit out of a fucking 9/11 widow. Doesn't look really good, so we're gonna drop the charges. Like what?
Oh,
just pointing guns at people in the street.
Again, I completely missed that.
But I mean, I get it. Like, they probably wouldn't do this. Let's be honest. But yeah, then they're like, no, but we want to give him like a psych eval, and then they're like, no, they want to keep him for like 3 days and give him like a psychiatric evaluation.
And then,
that's where, and then they go to court and they're like, oh, we want to keep you for a year, like we are like, and then we get like BJ Novak is there.
Yeah, but who is BJ Novak defending?
I think
was he trying to prove that Adam Sandler is a bit psychotic?
I think he's just trying to prove the point. I'm not sure what I don't think this is how this would go in real life, like at all, obviously. But like, yeah, I don't know what his. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know, like, because obviously the doctor from the hospital was there and was like, "Hey, he should probably be committed. Like, he needs some help." And then his legal counsel is like, "Nah, we have his other lawyer who's like, oh, his other therapist who he's seen a couple times. Like, yeah, nah, he's all good." I guess the hospital may have been like, no, this guy's fucked. We have to have him. Like, I don't know. That's weird. I guess
it might have been the hospital, especially if they're running.
Well, I mean, they would get paid for it, so like, yeah.
So let's just assume BJ Novak's there representing the hospital, and then
BJ Novak, yes,
the Amazing Spider-Man 2's BJ Novak.
He's in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Fuck me, Jesus Christ.
He's the guy that's a dick to Jamie Foxx in Oscorp.
Oh, in the lift.
Yeah, they were setting him up to be like a big bad in like the Amazing Spider-Man 5, and then obviously none of that ever happened.
The Amazing Spider-Man 5. Fuck me. What do you know that I don't?
Well, that was the entire plan, wasn't it? They were going to do Sinister 6, then Amazing Spider-Man 3, then that Aunt May spin-off where she was like they were building their own MCU, like they're doing now, kind of.
Who was the Aunt May in those movies?
Sally Field.
Oh yes, yeah, right.
Was she in one of these movies? No,
I don't think I've seen her in one of these movies.
We've had Marissa Tomei, but I don't know if we've had Sally Field.
We have had Marissa Tomei, but yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, and then BJ Novak gets pictures out of Sandler's kids, and then he has a freak out.
He just has a fucking breakdown in the court.
Yeah, and then Donald Sutherland's like, "Okay, we'll meet on Monday," and then they have a meeting with BJ Novak and Sandler's in-laws, And then Donald Sutherland's like, you're the in-laws, you're the only family. It's up to you. If you can send him to a hospital, or you can just let him be free.
It's actually a really good scene there with like the judge is just like to BJ Novak, if you pull that shit again in my courtroom, like if you literally like just essentially attempt to just fuck with someone so much that they like can't control themselves, it's like, I will fucking rip. What does he say to him? He's like, I will have a bunch of seasoned inmates use you like a fucking rag doll or something like that. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, he's just and then he's trying to argue his point and he's like, shut the fuck up. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, shut the fuck up or you're leaving. And I mean this, shut up. And it's great. Donald Sutherland has like such good command in this scene.
Yeah, he does. But BJ Novak's showing the pictures. Sandler's father-in-law, like, yeah, these are the pictures that you have in your wallet. And then like, why don't you have these in your wallet, Adams?
Yeah, he's like, you're just attacking someone whose family all died. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And then, after this meeting, Sandler goes up to, hey, listen, the reason I don't have these pictures in my wallet is because I see my wife and kids in every person's face I ever see in my life.
Yeah, he's like I walk down the street
day.
and I see like a fucking Alsatian and I see the poodle that I used to have with the family. Like I can't get these images out of my head.
I even see the dog.
I even see the fucking dog. Yeah, but like he's clearly just like, I'm so tortured that like even looking at photos, just like I see them all the time. I don't need to look at photos, like, you know, like kind of thing.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing the in-laws decide that they don't want to send.
No, then the mother like has like a fucking. She's like, oh my god, and she's like broken.
Yeah.
And then they just like leave him be. And then they go and he's like he's moved.
He's moved to. He's finally redesigned the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then the mother-in-law gets a lamp, and he's moved to a new apartment across town.
Yeah, he just doesn't tell anyone he's leaving or moving, but he just is still just in New York somewhere.
And then, Don Cheadle's helping him move in. And then they're playing more Shadow of Colossus. And then next thing you know, who arrives but the woman who wanted to give Don Cheadle a blowjob.
Now, I can't remember her name, but she's in some other stuff. Saffron Burrows.
She is...
The only thing I know her from is Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea, yeah, okay.
She's like the lead scientist, like main character in that movie.
Oh my god, she was Victoria Hand on Marvel's Agent S.H.I.E.L.D.
I saw that, but then I've seen who has seen more than 4 episodes of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I saw 4 seasons of Agents
you
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
brave man. Do you get fully into the fucking...
It got quite...
called? The Green Bros?
It got quite good.
What were they called? Fuck, forgotten.
The Kree?
That's the one. Because there was all that was in there. That was like their thing. They were more involved with the TV show.
Oh, she was in 2003's Peter Pan as adult Wendy, also the narrator.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, and then her and Sandler make some eyes at each other because she is divorced and Sandler is a widow. So I'm guessing the implications is that they end up getting together.
Well, I hope so, but she is fucking crazy.
Oh, she's a nutter. She's
fucking tapped.
And then the movie ends with Don Cheadle stealing Adam Sandler's scooter.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
Well, then the movie.
Like, it's literally just like he left it in the lobby and he's like, nah, fuck, mine now.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
But yeah, 2 times speed. It was a pretty slow hour.
Yeah, I had to watch this on 2. Like, this felt long on 2 times speed. Like that was a long hour.
Before we get into our podcast scores, Matt, would you like to tell me your creme de la scene? So your favorite movie, your favorite scene of this movie. What's this movie called? Reign Over Me. Yeah?
This movie is called Reign Over Me.
There you
And
go.
sorry, I just realised I was watching you type like what? I'll wait for myself to prompt myself. Then yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I'm just me being a fucking mong and just zoning out. My cream de la scene for this movie is I'm just gonna say it's definitely one of the politically incorrect phrases that was definitely used in this, but it was Don Cheadle calling the Falcon a faggot. I thought that was fucking hilarious, purely because obviously Don Cheadle became War Machine like 2 years later, 3 years later, but that word is used like at least 12 times in this movie. I don't really know why, but like it is. But yeah, they're looking at comic books, and Don Cheadle finds out that Captain America has a black sidekick called the Falcon, and he's like, "Nah, I can get into this. There's a black guy in it." And it's like, why the fuck's he in this costume? And then Adam Sandler, and then someone calls him a faggot, and that's it. And it's just fucking kind of hilarious that Don Cheadle thinks this guy's such a gimp. And then
4 years later,
gives the Falcon all the shit in the world.
But
yeah, that was just like a little thing of obviously like him becoming War Machine.
It being in movies with the Falcon.
Yeah, just like it's funny now. Like, yeah. But other than that, my cream de la scene was that was just a little funny tidbit. But my cream de la scene was probably Adam Sandler telling the parents-in-law about the faces and stuff, and he's like, "Look, I'm fucked. I need some room."
I think my possibly 2 cream de la scenes in this movie. The first one is where Sandler gets Don Cheadle to tell his partners that, "Hey, this is my building. I've made you. If you stab me in the back again, you are gone.
Yeah,
I do not care who you are. This is my building."
He's like, "Yeah, I made you all rich as fuck.
I run this town.
I run this shit."
Either that, or when Don Cheadle tells his assistant to, after Don Cheadle kicks the blowjob lady out of his office, and he tells his assistant, "Okay, you tell that woman to never come back again."
never schedule that lady ever again.
And then instead of ringing her up to say, "Oh, hey, sorry," blah, blah, she just opens up the window into the reception, and she shouts at her like, "Hey, you're never coming back again."
The best bit about that is though, it's like she's down the corridor and she makes her come back to reception. "Hey, come here, fuck you."
And then she's like, "Hey, if you're not assertive with these type of women, they'll never listen."
Maybe that was probably the reason she got a lawsuit.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, those are my cream de la scenes. Just people getting angry in the dentist.
Ah, fair.
And then another thing we like to do before we finish up is we rate this movie a certain number of sandbags out of 10 and let the people know what sort of flood those sandbags could stop. So, Matt, last week you gave Click a 7. We both gave Click a 7.2. What are you giving Reign Over Me this week?
I'm gonna give this a flat 6.
6?
6.
Okay.
Just like 6 on the dot.
I think I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. And what sort of flood could your 6 sandbags stop?
Oh god, the flood of someone's tears from them crying in this movie at some point. I'm sure someone cried.
Yeah, fair enough. No, plenty of reviews said they cried. I'm going to give this movie a 5.6, and my 5.6 sandbags could stop a flood of Heineken that comes out of that weirdly shaped bottle.
It's the flood of Heineken. The most obvious product placement I've seen in a movie for a few years.
The only thing that rivals Heineken, the Heineken product placement of this is the Heineken product placement in the Fast and Furious.
And the
talking about
sorry, just one sec. I'm quickly just going to run for a pee. I'm going to die.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry.
I'll edit this part.
Right, we're back. Sorry, I drank like a liter of water about 20 minutes before we started this, and it just all kind of bundled with the soju and the beer at once.
Yeah, I was saying, talk about Fast and Furious. The worst idea of all time at the moment is doing a Fast and Furious series where they watch Fast and in reverse. They're watching Fast and Furious 9 times, 8 times, 7 times to try and figure out what this whole franchise is about. So
Who's
I'm
doing
going to do
this?
the worst idea of all time. They're the people who watched Grown Ups 2 every single week for a year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So they're doing a Fast and Furious series at the moment. So soon on my Instagram, I'm going to do something similar, inspired by them, called the 10 Days of Furious, where I'm going to watch every Fast and Furious movie in reverse order, leading up to probably Valentine's night, and
Any particular reason?
just to do a quick little review on each one. And because I think I've seen like 7 and 8, and none of the others. So I want to watch these movies.
You've only seen Fast and Furious 7 and 8.
I think so. Yeah.
That's so strange.
Or 7 and Hobbs and Shaw. One of them.
Why have you only seen those ones?
Don't know.
Well, my only recommendation would be to watch like the first one's pretty decent. It'd be a good watch. Fast 5 is probably the best one. Probably. Tokyo Drift's great because it's basically just a standalone movie.
And that's the one where we meet Han Solo, isn't it?
It is where you meet Han Solo, but also like
Yeah.
that movie
So
came out in 2006.
I'm gonna give those movies a watch probably at some point soon.
I don't think I've seen 7 or 8 or Hobbs and Shaw.
I think I've seen Hobbs. It might be 7 and Hobbs and Shaw, because at the end of Hobbs and Shaw, I think they go to Hawaii, and then they fight Idris Elba with a bunch of like Polynesian weapons.
Yeah, I didn't know Idris Elba was in the Fast and Furious, so I've got fucking no idea. I'm pretty sure Helen Mirren's in one of these fucking movies, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. I think Ryan Reynolds is in them as well.
Like Charlize Theron is in
Yeah.
one of them.
She's
Maybe
in them.
two.
Jason Momoa is coming in the next one. Gal Gadot, she's in
Of course
it.
he is. How long until we
yeah.
get Batista?
See, I think Batista is too good for them. Oh, John
He
Cena's
is.
in them.
Is John Cena in the Fast? Oh,
Yeah.
he plays like his brother or something, doesn't he?
John Cena's Dom Toretto's actual Mi Familia. Talk
There's
about
nothing stronger than family.
Talk about Mi Familia. There's have you been watching Koala Man on?
So I've seen the. We watched the first episode. Yes, I watched the first episode like the other day.
Living in Australia, like it's so strange. I'm watching it, and I'm like, I know that voice from a podcast. Like, there's so many people, and like names of people in the credits who've been on. As someone living in Australia, do you enjoy it, or do you think it's similar akin to the Simpsons versus Australia episode, Bart versus Australia?
Well, obviously, I've only seen one episode. Thought it was funny, but yeah, fucking my partner's Australian, and she thought it was fucking hilarious. So, like, she obviously understood all of like the Australian references and like all those little bits, so she thought it was fucking crack up.
The only references I understand is stuff.
Yeah, fair.
So
yeah, because we watched the trailer for it, and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck is this?" And I saw it was like Jared White as well. Like, there's no way that fucking Hugh Jackman and Big Les are on the same TV show. You're like, you're fucking dreaming. And they are. And it's fucking I liked the first episode. I'll probably watch more of it later after we finish this, but
I hope it doesn't get cancelled because Justin Roiland is heavily involved. Obviously, he's a pretty bad bloke.
What did Justin Roiland do?
Oh, he's been.
Has Rick and Morty been cancelled? Oh, for Christ's sake! What have I missed?
Potentially, because Justin Roiland is messaging underage girls on
Justin
Instagram.
Roiland, what are you fucking doing, mate?
Yeah,
for Christ's sake.
But yeah,
when did this come out? I don't use Twitter anymore. I don't know anything. I literally don't like it. It's fucked.
Right, Matt. Before we end things, do you want to let the people know?
For Christ's sake.
What we have next week?
I was just going to look at this. I completely forgot to check. Give me 2 seconds. We have got. Oh, yes. I didn't know this. This is news to me, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting the news same as me. Same time as me. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. What a fucking movie. Seen this once. I think.
I've also seen it
maybe
once.
Twice.
Oh, no, I'm excited for this. Kevin James's first major role that we're looking at.
I don't even know when I watched this. Like, I've just seen it.
Don't know. Well, 2007. I might have seen this in the cinema.
Did I what? Oh, fuck. I've got
I think this probably would have been the first one that I saw in the cinema. Because, yeah, maybe Click.
I was going to say, I think I watched Click at the cinema.
No, I think that I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry is probably the first one that I saw in the cinema. Yeah. And then I ended like 2 years later with Jack and Jill. But yeah, next week is I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. If you want to follow us on our Instagram at SoSandler'sPod, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Send us an email at SoSandler'sPod@gmail.com. And thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this week, guys, because Rain Over Me is pretty boring.
I'm just glad we didn't read the plot again.